Mr. Tim Gittens, aka Headache. How you doing, sir?
Man, I'm great, man. Just living life, God bless.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Hey, I appreciate you taking the time to do this interview on the Rematch, basketballnews.com and Fly TV. So I just watched the Netflix documentary. You know what I mean? The rise and fall of And1. It was as part of the Netflix series Untold. And we've known each other for a long time. I was on And1 while I was playing. I met you through Chris Broussard, re-met you through Chris Broussard and his King movement and everything like that. And so you were like the first person I called after I watched it, because I know that there's a whole lot more to this story than they showed. I know you're finishing up your book and you're dealing with a lot that was left out of the documentary that people really need to know if they want to know the full story, just not the edited version. But we're going to slow walk through all of that. But first and foremost, I want to ask you, you were one of the players, one of the original And1 Mixtape players that went on a tour that decided not to be a part of the documentary. I want to start off with that, with asking you, why did you decide not to be a part of it?
I think the biggest reason was that the owners, because the owners decided they kind of push this and they did it, and right now in this span of life, I refuse to do anything with them. Not because I'm mad about contracts or anything like that, but just the ethical things of how things went, how it ended, not with the tour itself, but with me and our relationship, because I knew them outside of before I became an And1 Mixtape player. But at the same time, it's integrity. Like, and then what you send, what kind of offer you give me? Like, I don't play games when it comes to, one, feeding my family, two, knowing my worth, and three, when you approach me, the biggest misconception about the And1 Mixtape players, and it's not all of us, it's some of us, it might be just me, but when you know your value and your worth, people get mad when you tell them what you worth. And when you tell them what you worth, because they see you in the light they want to see you, and they want to give you what they want to give you. But they don't do that to everybody. So when they approach me with it, it wasn't what my worth is. So I'm not gonna do it. And I refuse to do anything with y'all because y'all still see me what y'all saw me back then. And I'm so much bigger than that.
It's interesting. Towards the end of the documentary, Dribble Machine was sitting there and talking to Main Event, and he said, I have exactly the quote here. He said, "They came to the hood and stole the product, made a lot of money off of it, and never paid us what we were worth." He said he called it poverty pimping, and he said they never respected us. And our lives didn't matter to them. And then he went and asked, the Main Event, do you agree with that? Do you think our lives mattered to us? Do you think they looked at us like, with respect? Do you think they respected us? And, Main Event was kind of like, he was like, nah, I can't disagree with that. But it was, would you agree with that description of how they looked at y'all?
Me, I agree with a little bit, but it's a two-sided coin.
Okay.
And one of the biggest things I did when I was there, I try to make sure that we was in the best situation, but it takes two of us to make that happen. Yes, they came to the hood. They didn't steal us. They offered us. And then once we realized what we was worth, this is when we come together and force them to respect us. They didn't respect us because we didn't make them respect us. And I tell people all the time, people say, oh, the And1 Mixtape did this dope thing. It wasn't And1 Mixtape. The And1 Mixtape was a financial backer of great talent. And without the talent, we wouldn't have been them. They didn't see us as talents. They saw us as help. So when you see somebody as help, and our only job is for us to make them money, and we don't hold them accountable, then it's our fault. So, I tell people all the time is that, when Shane made the comment, he is right. They didn't steal it. We kind of gave it to them. But when I was putting up the fight to make sure that we got paid or did what we were supposed to do, I got pushed back from my teammates and stuff like that, because that's one of the reasons why I walked away from it, because of the fact that I was trying to hold them accountable, and they didn't like the fact that I was willing to do that was smart. And and I also came to right out of college. I had a degree in marketing, so my thing was I helped them with a lot of different things. They're not going to admit to that, but our job was to do that. So when Shane says stuff like that, I understand what he feel, but we had the power to shut it down earlier to make them kind of, cave to our pressure. But we got to come as a group. We didn't come as a group when we was there. We was young. Some of us just young, some of us just stupid, and some of us just wanted their own way. And sometimes we got to get out of our own way. We hear that a lot when we was younger.
Yeah, one of the owners, I don't remember which one. I don't remember which one, but he said during the documentary, when he was looking back at it, he said something to the effect that they should have looked at you all as employees instead of endorsement deals for athletes, and they would have included stock options, which would have amounted to incremental wealth. And I kind of smiled when I heard him say that, because we've talked. And I've talked to some of the guys, and that wasn't even on the table for them. Well, I'll let you say. You tell. Was that on the table for them? Was they thinking in those terms of long term?
It's hilarious they say that, because I'm gonna use Vince as an example. Okay. If you get somebody an endorsement deal, you give them enough money where they're of their stature. You'll never see Vince Carter, who helped Nike create the bounce shoe, get less than a couple $1 million, because he's gonna make them a whole bunch of millions. Like, so when you go from, yeah, we love you, we think you dope, you made us a whole bunch of millions, 65 million, 200 million, I'm gonna give you thousands. That's we don't have to give me stock. You can just pay me. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I tell people all the time, I knew numbers because I always ask questions. I was in meetings. I'm like, if we make up less than 1% of the expenses, what's the purpose of giving us less money? Like, one of the biggest things I laugh about, it's in my book too. When we talk about it, they actually gave us stock options at one year when we kind of forced their hand, and they was mad because I wasn't my last year tour. I wasn't going to do the tour, and because we had going contract stuff, and they came back with some little garbage, stock options at the time. A lot of us didn't know what that stuff was because it's still young. We wasn't exposed as black men early in the age about stock and stuff like that. So they gave us this tiny mule, so they kind of shut us up, and and I got the receipt because I still got my contracts, got all my contracts did. So like, when you look at that, you just talking the talk to make it sound good. But that's why I do a documentary, because they controlled it. They'll say they didn't control it, but they paid for the doc to get done, and then they sold to Netflix. So they still look bad in the light.
Well, they look. I think they look bad to the people who know that there was a whole lot more going on and a whole lot more that happened than what they showed in the doc. You know what I mean? Like, some people looking at the doc, might think something completely different. That's why I wanted to reach out to you, first. And I was like, well, wait a minute. I know that that's not the whole story. I don't know the whole story, but I know that's not the whole story. So, and I was happy to hear that you're writing a book, kind of just detailing everything and telling a lot of the things that did happen, but then also telling your story, your life, and where it started. And you broke it up into like a game. You know what I mean? So talk about how you set up your book and how it's gonna, how the whole thing flows and what you want to accomplish with it.
So my book I'm writing, it was more of a tool to kind of help a lot of kids like me and you that we all grew up in different situations, but we had to find ways out. And even if the circumstances are different now, but you still gotta find things that is gonna get you out of your situation and relieve. And then we was never complaining, so we was like, I want to get out of the situation. I want to do something different. How do I do it? So I started my life when I was young, growing up, and how rough it was for me coming into as a man, and then going from zero to high school, and then talk about my high school years when I played high school at, and the stuff I had to deal with going through puberty, going through not having my dad, my mom, and then going through college, dealing with other men that supposed to be responsible for making me into a young man. And a lot of us that didn't have them good, solid, strong foundation of men, you have to weed out the rest. And then along the line, you're gonna make mistakes that you regret. But then you got to get up and continue doing it. And then it comes to me becoming a pro and trying to navigate this world of, making money and having the right agent and just going through them things and dealing with people like you, people don't like you. Then I happened to come out of college and, sign an And1 deal because I had a chip on my back, and then it just poof. And then, and amidst all that, me showing me going from park to park, learn how to play the game. And, I tell people all the time, and I tell a lot of kids this, that a lot of people ain't gonna like you, and they ain't gonna like you as long as they talking about you, you're doing something right, and I tell kids that a lot of kids go, oh, I just can't. I said I couldn't either. I didn't have no parents. I had to be my protector, my lawyer, my confidant, like all that at once sometimes, because I didn't have the people around me to really support me. If I had the people around me that support people down the day, I'd have been McDonald American. I'd have went to the top college. But people see you, and I said it earlier, people see you for what they want to see you. Unfortunately, like you might think you a king, somebody might see you as scraps, but until they get to meet you and have a conversation with you, they never know. So this book kind of showed that conversation, and then it also breaks down, like in the chapter of becoming a pro. When I was doing And1 Mixtape, it really breaks down the stuff that they said we met. Me and Wally, we sat with the owners, Seth and Jay, when they was in the office and before they got to court, because a lot of stuff in that documentary they chronologically didn't put it correctly. They made it look better than what it really was and what it didn't do. So like, we met them in a little small office when we first met them. And then 3 years later, we had the basketball gym. It wasn't like say so, but this tour was doing successful. We made a lot of money from after the second year. They was operating the red, but they promised. He looked us in the face and promised us, "Yo, when we get it, with this work, we're gonna take care of you." Like, and how they say, like, now we older, we need more than a handshake. But when somebody look in the face and tell you that, and you like, okay, and then turn around and give you a small deal, and then basically peel off endorsement, like we had to, like my guy Seth Free basically had to go take us, apparel to give us our first year. They was rationing off the apparel, but we the biggest things,
Yeah.
And that's why I said the book is gonna be really dynamic for young guys who's trying to just be young men and understand. It's gonna show my flaws and my mistakes I made along the way, but also the bounce that I made. That I made become a young man, and an adult, a dad, a father, a husband, and unfortunately, Etan, black man, we see a lot of guys fail.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but it's good. It's good that you're being an open book like that, because people can learn from other people's mistakes. So when I was growing up, one of the things that my AAU coach, Reverend Potter, always do was show us different guys, around Tulsa that should have made it, should have done this, but they made a few missteps along the way, and he would turn that into a lesson. So what it sounds like what you're doing is using yourself as that lesson. Like, this is what I did. This is what I should have done. You know what I mean? And this is what could have happened, but this is the direction that I went. And it takes a lot of, first of all, courage to be able to be an open book, because nobody likes telling their business like that. You know what I mean? But doing it for a purpose to help somebody else is special. And I wanna talk about a little bit of the things, especially pertaining to the And1 mixtape tour. You said earlier that it wasn't so much that they exploited you but they took advantage, but you allowed them to. And that's an interesting statement, because you're putting the onus on yourself, but at the same time, I think they knew they were exploiting you. Do you know what I mean? So while I do respect the fact that you're saying, no, there's certain things that we allow, but I don't want to let them off the hook from knowing exactly what they were doing when they were doing it.
Oh no, they 100% knew what they was doing, and us being men in the world of business and doing stuff, like, I knew after my third year, and I used to hold them a check, because I went to business class, I studied Koji versus Fuji and all this stuff, and I got my degree. So half the stuff, like even with sneakers, I used to help them with a lot of stuff, from marketing to one of the guys on the team. When things happen, I sat in rooms with them and stopped guys from getting in trouble, and stop guys from actually losing their job in the early years because they wanted to get rid of them. But I like I said, that's why I do documentary. I always hold them accountable for it. But at the end of the day, when I saw it and brought it to my guys, we have to now go, we done until you meet our demands. And that's why, like, when I first left the tour, everybody used to laugh. I used to call myself, aka Headache, Jackie Rob, the street boy Jackie Robinson. because you know, and the guys will tell you this, like they won't say it 100%, but my guys who really still rock with and fess on them, I ain't never let nothing go down on the tour that if they disagree with, I walk up and step in the face like, hey, look, this is what we need, and if you don't get it, we're not doing this. I always done that, and you know, like the people that fight for people always gonna get the best result out of it. So I had to, and I was still trying to make the league, so I had to like, you know, navigate that line of I really don't want to piss them off, but.
Right.
But the thing about it, me and my people always talk about when we put the bullet. I said the hardest thing for an athlete to do is really negotiate their contract because people can't let it go, and it's more doing with our skin color. Like because I walk in a room, I know my rights, I know what I need, I know a contract because this is what I went to study for. They look at you as you just an athlete. Why are you talking to us like this? So when I used to walk at me, it's like, no, this is what I want. This is what I want you to give me. They might give it to me, but the rest of the year, they pissed at me because the audacity of you.
Right.
Like you just a street ball player. No, I'm not just a street ball player. I'm making you a lot of money under this umbrella. I was a pro at 15. So why would I not negotiate stuff for myself? And then we started bringing lawyers and agents and stuff like that for different players. They like this. Oh, now we got to deal with this. No, you do because it's business. Like I give a little sample. Like so, when we got on tour and I was working out for different NBA teams. And a lot of times they didn't know I was working out. So I told them, I said, anytime I stay in a city more than 3 days, I would like a refrigerator in my room because I'm big on saving money. I'll go to Walmart, get a whole bunch of stuff and put in the refrigerator because you know, in a 4-star hotel, you're gonna spend $2 on 2 bottles of water.
Yeah.
Like, you know, if you're a real athlete, at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, you're gonna wake up super thirsty.
Yes.
For no reason. Like just, and then you're gonna get a water, then you're gonna want a snack.
Right.
So you're on a roll. That's all I said, hey, we're in a meeting. I said, hey, this is what I need for this year for the tour. If any city that we in more than 3 days, I need access to a gym so I can work out. And then I need, you know, a refrigerator in my room. They was appalled. Oh, 5-star hotels don't have refrigerators. I said, who are you talking to? I've been traveling since I was 14 with, you know, Riverside, Gauchos. They have whatever you want. That's why a 5-star hotel.
Yeah, right.
Like, oh, and then they probably talk about this. I always just tell them, I said, you know, you work. It's like the A&R person that's in charge of us, the marketing person. You know, you work for me, right? If I'm not here, you don't have a job.
Right. Right.
Like, what part that you don't understand? I hate telling you that. What part that you don't understand? If we're not successful, you don't have a job. You wasn't here when we first got started. You're here now because we're successful.
Yeah.
But then it's like I said, they seen it as help to get them money and not for us. So when as a black man, when you go, hey, nah, I know my worth, they go, oh, the audacity of you. I put money in your pocket. Yeah, you don't have what I have, but I put a little bit of money in your pocket. You should be appreciative. I'm not appreciative because I know the numbers. I said, you know.
It's interesting you say that because they even showed on the documentary a part where one of the owners, they said that, you know, yes, they should be taken care of, but they don't have to do it. And what did he say? As aggressively as they're doing it or something? Do you remember that part?
Yeah. So that was Chris Hightower. I know exactly who said that was Chris. I watched everything for context. That was Chris. And the crazy part about it was, like, that statement is so irrational.
Now, what role did Chris Hightower have?
Chris Hightower was the tour manager that go on the tour with us, who I helped chauffeur, who I sat in rooms with. They give out uniforms because he didn't want to sit there. I don't have to say much.
He didn't want to sit there. What you mean?
Like, you know, when guys come in, like guys a little aggressive. So, you know, I'm gonna back him up because he had to get the checks out, all that stuff, make sure everybody got paid, make sure I got the uniform for the game, got sneakers, all that stuff. So to give him some, you know, comfort, I'll sit in the room with him.
Okay.
And I also advised him because he was young. I also advised him on certain things. So I laugh when you got us, we was aggressive.
Right.
And when he was a young boy when he worked with us, he wasn't like 30 or 40. He was young. Yeah. You know, and I learned a long time ago, companies hire guys young so they can pay them less and make them do more.
Of course.
And I helped him along the way when it came to dealing with such situations. We had conversations. Yeah, we didn't agree with a lot of stuff, but don't act like you forgot. The same aggressive guys helped you get your start in the career.
Okay.
You know, like, So don't do that, and don't forget who team you on.
Right, that's true. That's true.
But and that's the part that when I look, I go, what? I'm like, no. I said, if I can put you in a situation. If I say, hey, we're gonna start coming tomorrow, I'm gonna use your name and your likeness. All you gotta do is go out and speak, and then I make 100 million, and I give you 100,000.
Yeah.
Would you think you'd be aggressive? Or
right.
Hey,
that's a good point.
Hey, can I get my money? You're gonna be like this. Hey, can I talk you in the back for a second?
Yeah. It's interesting because they even, and I don't know, they're almost like telling on themselves with some of the depictions where they were like, okay, they're giving y'all pizza and fast food, and then you go on their bus and they have filet mignon and lobster, and y'all are looking like, wait a minute, why are you giving us pizza?
So because I didn't do a documentary, the one issue they put in the doc about me is me checking them. Remember I told you they don't like us knowing.
Right.
I'm in the doc all over the place, but I'm not speaking.
Yeah.
But the one time they really show me, irate. They show me frustrated. They kind of depict me as I was this trouble guy.
Right.
But that day they said one person I threw the pizza on her. I wouldn't have, but I've been telling them for months, hey, order our food early so that way we can get some real good food. Because when time we get done with the tours, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, we sign autographs. Ain't gonna nothing gonna be open when we get to the next city. Hey, order some good food. Take like how they do nowadays. You order, pre-order, it get there. We got microwaves on the bus, we can warm it up.
Yeah.
Every day was pizza. I'm trying to be a pro. I'm trying to I need real food after playing for 2 hours, signing autographs, pregame and all the pregame stuff we do.
Yeah.
I'm frustrated. I'm like, yo, I told you already not to do this. I go on a bus, they got, cheese and crackers, pasta meals.
Yeah.
I got 6 pies and soda. So, I was like, yo, I did not tell you. She's like, oh no, take. I walked a piece on the bus and threw it on the floor. Y'all take this. Stop giving us this stuff. And I'm like, I told y'all that already. I said, end of the day, like I kept telling them this. If we're not here, you don't have this job.
Right.
Could you imagine Bruce, the boss, if he went on a show and he went in his room and they didn't meet, I learned this I learned this doing modeling and all that, and they didn't meet his checklist.
Right.
People know about that. You get your checklist from the athletes you bring in, what they like, what they don't like. If they like M&M's, only the red ones.
Right.
If you meet his checklist, him and his team left.
Yeah, they left.
But we weren't allowed to give a checklist because they didn't see us like that.
So they just gave y'all pizza, and it was probably all cold by the time y'all finished cold pizza. Wow. And
the thing about it was like they do. I laugh because I hate to say this, but most I call it the sarcasm of white people. When they know they busted, they do the sarcasm thing. They kind of say they doing it, but make you feel like, see, I did anyway, like that. So and then once in a while they do like a big dinner and put on a corporate card. Like we ain't the reason why you have a corporate card. Like, right.
Like they're doing you a favor.
Like, and I tell people all the time. That's why I say my biggest statement, and I always say it, is that people say, the And1 Mixtape. I say, yeah, the And1 Mixtape wasn't really And1 Mixtape without us.
Right.
I said there were financial backers. They was in trouble with the company. They were looking for a dope opportunity. The one that really gave us opportunity was Skip. Mm-hmm. And I said one hand washed the other. Skip sent the tape in, and they saw this dope thing. So it created a spark, it created an idea. So it started with Skip to open the door for us. And then if we're not successful, the first 7 guys, me, Main Event, Shane, Future, Kraft Ferguson, Aircraft, Half Man, Half Amazing, God Rest His Soul, Troy Truesdale. And we don't go out and have the first couple games and while we make the Jersey game dope, it's no And1 Mixtape tour.
Right.
It had to be kind of good. And so now it gets successful. And now we become successful. Skip rejoined the tour. His name blew up in the NBA because who's this guy with the And1 Mixtape tour? Because they put him in front.
Right.
He stays in the league and get another contract because you've been in the league. The best story stays all the time.
Of course.
Now we got some in the market. So now Skip get a 10-year career. So Skip help us get in. We help him be his marketing tool. And then we'll make a whole bunch of money. But for some reason, they forgot about the people that did all the work.
So the other guys, like Hot Sauce, he came later.
Well, no, he came like the second year. So the first group was that, and then like the second year when we started really touring, we brought him and AO on. So basically, I always consider AO and them the real group of us because they came on the second year we did the 4 cities, we did 5 cities. He came on in LA.
Okay.
And AO came on that year because we definitely did a Philly dude because and the company was in Philly.
Right.
Actually in Piola, but Piola, PA. But you know, and that's kind of weird. Like in our second year, going to our second year, we already had the basketball court at the office.
Mm.
You know, like when they had Steph and all that. So like that's why I tell people like they've been making money hand over fist with us after the second one, because after the second one, everybody like, yo, I need more, you know, because we all grew up on like, yo, I need more of that drug because that's dope. And those Seth Free and them did it. Like, so it's like with the music, because I tell everybody, this is my joke to Common and them. I said, there's a lot of rappers owe us checks that wasn't good when we first met them. Like, because remember Common was on that joint, my man Most Def. I'm still waiting for my percentage, y'all. We made y'all hot.
let me ask you this though, because I remember when And1 first came out, and they showed it a little bit in the documentary. So And1 came out, they put all of their chips, like pushed all their chips on Steph, and they showed where Steph was playing. It was like when he first got to Minnesota, he was like, you know what I mean? What was he, the number 2 pick?
Yeah.
He was number 2 or number 1? He was number 2, right?
Number 2, because Garnett was number 1, right? Was Garnett number 1 that year?
I don't remember, but he was either number 2 or number 1, one of the two. And so he got to Minnesota. It was about to be all him, and then he got the injury in the And1's, and you know what I mean? Then And1's stock and their value just plummeted. And then y'all really saved the company, because then from there they paused from the NBA, and then they went over to, you know what I mean, the mixtape, and they started pushing that. And then they went back to the NBA later, but really y'all saved the company. Now, am I right with that?
No, 100%. Like they was down because, you know how any product, like when Zion bust the Nike shoe, they made a new shoe, the new heavy improved for big men.
right.
You know, like us as athletes, it's always been big men shoe. It was a guard shoe, a wing shoe, and then that big heavy shoe you used to get in college that had like the extra rubber around it. Y'all because they looked like the guard shoe. Like, it's been around forever. They came out, so that's kind of what it was. It was a band-aid situation, but it was at the right time. Everything was a time. It was like the right time for them, and that's why I said, like, if Skip and them don't send the tape to them, they don't have a way out. We don't ever hear about And1. But and I think for a lot of the guys, and mainly the real core group that started it, I'm gonna say we mad, but at the same time, like, y'all sold a company, you made really good money, y'all sitting on millions. You ain't never look back and go, you could have called the first 7 in the room, nobody had to know, and be like, hey, let's have a meeting. Remember back in the day in 1999 when we said we're gonna take care of y'all? I remember what I said to you, let me make it right. And give y'all, I think I give you 4, 5, 10 million, but the gesture alone will make it different. But I don't expect them to do that, because that's what you know, corporations do. Like that's what they do as a bidder. I work for a big corporation now that's actually dope. I work for EA Sports, and I help them out with a lot of different things. And I've been in a room with them big meetings and how it go and the difference of it. And every time I sit in a meeting, I look at stuff, I be like this. I remember how this. I'm not as big a voice as I was when I was on And1 Mixtape, but I remember I can feel both sides of the negotiating table, because I've been in that room where it's just been me and that person, like, just no. So
the difference with And1, you know, the EA Sports was already established. And1 wasn't established at all. Nobody know no And1, so y'all made And1. So y'all should have grown as the company grew with And1. You know what I mean? So if you're whatever deal you were like there, I mean, and that's why I understand the stock options thing, because if y'all had that with it, then it would have grown, you know what I mean, incrementally as the company grew. But along with it, not like in replace of payment, but along with the payment, and then y'all all grow together. That's what they should have done. But it's interesting because, you know, when y'all were in that first group, and then they added hot sauce, then they added, more people, then they had this kind of tryout they formed this whole almost like America's Top Model for And1. You know what I mean, right? Where somebody would like try out, and then they would have like a contest, and then one person would make it, and then they would join the tour. Talk to me about that and how that was, because that was an interesting. They just kind of talked about it a little bit, but didn't really. You know what I mean?
And I talk about this in my book. The funny part about it was before they did it, I went to the guys and said, "Yo, we need to do a better deal for us because they trying to replace us."
Yeah, right.
They was like, "What? Nah. Listen to me. I've been around. I read in my books. I read the world. I read the world very successfully. I know when trouble coming. When my hood says to start popping up,
right,
it's time to listen." And it was like, nah, this would be a dope. You know, we trying to do this, and we kind of made a little ruffle about it. And that's when the different contracts came out, and they said, okay, we're gonna give you the little fake stock options and stuff like that. So when that happened, I told him, I said, because my ego stuff at that time, because I was one of the top guards throughout the world, I wasn't worried about me because I could defend, I can shoot it, I was athletic. I'm gonna hold my own. I'm not going nowhere. But I said other guys who's getting a little older or turn the corner or they really don't like, it's easy to replace you when I bring somebody in. I can pay less and they just as popular.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So and that's kind of and that be the excuse to get rid of you. Well, we got a new guy on. We only keep 10 guys. We can make it. And if it got to that point, then they can make money again, because now they can go, okay, audience, you get to vote that person off.
Yeah.
You know, and then now they got to pick who people want to leave. So it could have been a whole bunch of other ways, but it grew that way because they were looking for new talent. And the best way to do that, like you said, like go in the pool and be like, hey, and if it don't work, we be like, well, y'all chose them, you know, so now we got to get somebody else. And every year we had it, so you get this contract, you get this instant fame, because that's what it was, because we didn't have social media. So
right.
And then we did the ESPN show, which was one of the dopest things for us, but also was that I'm put that in my book, but that was a joke, you know.
Was it a joke?
Because like the guys once said, nobody really got paid for that.
Y'all didn't get paid from the ESPN show at all?
No, that's a concept we gotta have after I give you the contract breakdown of that one.
But this is in your book, though. You're talking about it in your book. So that show, that ESPN show, it was, and they showed it in the documentary, it was the #1 show on ESPN. That's how popular it was.
For 10 years, yo. For 10 years, it kept playing. Look, when we finished the 30 for 30, before Netflix, when we did 30 for 30, which was basically about the origin of the And1 Mixtape and how it got started, which was the one that 30 for 30 did on us, and all the guys got the interview in that one. So all the guys got to talk. You notice this one, the Netflix one, all of us guys didn't get to talk.
Right.
Some guys wouldn't do it because we knew who was behind it. But the 30 for 30 talked about that. And the ESPN show, one of the #1 things, they pay us for appearance fee. But they didn't pay me for appearance fee because I was SAG. I was doing videos and commercials. Right. I was doing stuff. So I was already SAG because I know my big bros, the Dean brothers, you know, Terrence Dean, them. I used to do stuff. I used to do modeling gigs and stuff like that. When me and Swiss was young, Swiss Beastnall was young. You know, New York, we're about making that money. So we're like, well, I can sit there and be an extra and make $500.
Right.
Like I ain't doing it a day anyway. Let me go sit on the set. Yeah. Like, so that's how I got into commercials and try to do like small movies. I was in New York, the Law Show, Law and Order, always shoot in New York City. I've been in a couple of their joints when I was a basketball player, and because I got a little fame, I get quick 5,000. You know, I don't go stand there. You know how it goes. You stand there for like 8 hours. They're like, okay, your turn. You shoot 8 minutes, and you out. Like that's it. Like, so that's how. But SAG helped me because I was like, yo, like I didn't know the whole thing, and I started learning about like, oh yeah, if your likeness on there, SAG come to get your money. Like so. But the guys on the ESPN show, they didn't get paid directly from that, even though it was grossing so much. That's messed up. I didn't know that part. So you mentioned it a few times that you was like, you know, well, I told the guys we got to do this. So it sounds like you got a lot of resistance from the guys from what. So
and I'm sure you talk about this in your book in detail. I'm sure you do. But just give me a little bit of what type of resistance did you get from the guys? Like, you know, and did that splinter and fracture your, you know, relationship with the guys?
It did because in any situation, it's like when you dating, like you dating your wife or whatever, it's always people on the other side telling them, oh, you know, don't listen, you know, he trying to, and then my thing was, I always been my brother's keeper. If you're in trouble, any guy came on tour, they'll tell you, like even when Professor came on, I made sure he was okay. But when I put him through stuff, I made sure with basketball stuff, I made sure I pushed him. Because I said, if you make this team, you got to be able to score the ball and entertain at the same time. And guys going to rough you up because you white. Like, so let's get right. And then if my boy AO need me, my backcourt partner need me to babysit his daughter or whatever, and he got to go do something, you leave in the room with me. You know how it goes. It's a brotherhood.
Right, brotherhood.
So anything that happened, I was there. So when I brought a lot of stuff up, I'm a passionate guy, so I'm animated about like this is what we gotta do. There ain't no other way about it. It's how we gotta do it. But you know, and I always call it's lack of knowledge, it's greediness, it's insecurities. It's like why he want to do this? You know, because us as black men, we got our own different insecurities. Like, yo, why you trying to help me, Etan? I just met you. You know, like, what's the reason behind that?
Right.
So, or why you so generous? Like, what you want from me? You know, like when you hear it out loud, you go, what do you mean? Like, I'm trying to all of us get paid. Yeah. But then, like they said in the thing, it wasn't about the money. It was about us being man enough to understand that, one, everybody not gonna get paid. You play for the Washington Wizards. All your contracts wasn't the same. Right. So it is. But you got a fair amount where you can be successful, live your life, your family, all that. I told guys from the jump when we was talking about contracts, I like, look, we all ain't gonna get paid the same. Right. Because we all bring different things to the table. So we show up to give him different type of money. Like if Hot Sauce the hot dude, he should get paid what he's worth. If I'm the hot dude, I should get paid what I'm worth. If you're a medium warm dude, you get paid what you're worth. Like, and to me, that fraction, because when you look across the table, they go, oh, we're the same. And I always say we're not the same, because when they want somebody to go to a meeting, they call me. They want somebody to talk out loud or make the crowd go crazy, they pick different people. So we get paid about what the job we do, but when you're dealing with a whole bunch of people that didn't understand that or try not to understand it, but that's a better word for it. They want to understand it. They want to. I don't get paid. You know, like it's hard to get through on that. You know, like it's hard to put that. But
the system that they use, and again, they you know, sometimes when they telling on themselves in the documentary, if you're listening, and one of the owners said, well, the system that we used was, we judged by the amount of oohs and ahs that they received during the game, and then that would. I was like, what kind of system is that? That can't be the system that you use. You know what I mean?
There ain't no system they use. That was.
But you saw when he said that, right?
Yeah. That was the marketability. You can, like, you literally can, like, you played in the games with us. Like, you know, you can sit back and wait till the game over and know who's the hottest guy. Right. By just sitting there and go, he got 500 people circled around him. Right. You know, he's like they hated me for this, and I always laugh about my security guard Lonnie. I never left the room until I signed everybody's autograph. That always been my pet peeve, because my thing was like this: these poor kids came out to see us, these rich kids came out to see us. But in the day, like, I always put myself NBA guys. Y'all had a way stronger schedule. Y'all had more responsibility to do. And then you also had the marketing team telling you, we want you going at this time. Yeah. So a lot of players didn't get to see you, or people didn't get to touch you and feel you. On this level, they got to do that. So my thing was, I wasn't leaving until I got every kid. Because I give you a great example. We in Portland. We play in Portland. We sell arena out. And we on a long line. So they started doing, okay, we're doing 10-minute autograph sessions. And then I can get up and leave after that. Okay. Because some guys complain about being out there for half an hour signing autographs. Me, AO, God rest his soul, my big bro, Escalade, we would get up, we start signing a little bit, and then we'll get up and we'll walk down the line. Okay. Just to make sure everybody got signed, because at 10 minutes, some guys just get up and leave. Right. So-called tired. You know, we all play with them athletes. They so-called tired, don't want to sign no more. So we them. We start walking. So my security guard Lonnie, he'd get up and like, tag it, and we'd get up and walk down, you know, and be a midst of the crowd. But that's what we grew up in, so we was okay with that.
Yeah.
This one, oh, it's a safety hazard. I said, and this is the funny part. Me, AOS, yo, we can fight. We ain't worrying about these dudes. Like we grew up in the hood. We ain't worrying about that.
Yeah.
We'll just walk down and sign. So we get to the end of the line. It's this little girl, her mom, and she was so upset because she wanted a hot sauce autograph.
Mm-hmm.
And like she wouldn't get off the line because she had to go to the bathroom, but she wound up peeing on herself.
Oh,
like, you know, so her mom taking her clothes and she frustrated. She wants to see him. I said, we you know, as the brotherhood we are, as black people, we like, oh, we got it. Come on, we got a shirt. We got her new And1 shirt. We signed autographs for her. I went down and said, we got hot sauce. Come upstairs, give her a hug, take pictures.
That's what's up.
And the mom was crying. She's like, and it was nothing against the NBA. It was like, you know, we know Portland Trail Blazers players. We've never done this.
Yeah.
And you know how could, but it ain't really the players. It's that marketing team that control the players that, you know, that
them along and yeah, right.
And I'm like, and then I don't never touch that because I've been on that side, so I understand what that is. So I'm like, and she was crying like, no, thank you so much, because in that moment we could have become villains,
right,
or embrace her, because in the day my girl and they went inside, they wouldn't even sign her. You know how easy
one or two stories that she tells.
And to me, that's what it was about for us.
Yeah.
So and that's when I created an autograph card out of my own money, so I can give to the poor kids and the kids that couldn't afford to get a souvenir and stuff like that. And the crazy part about it, and I always laugh about it because it just shows you where people's minds are when they think about it. From the beginning of the thing I told you, I said people see you as they want to see you,
right?
Your intentions as it is. So I got a couple of them around. I did an autograph card, not really to promote I had a website back then because I always been about my marketing things. So I had a website when you come see me, book me, whatever. This is in 2000. Like so I sent a card out, and I used to pay a kid like $10, $20. Just walked down the aisle and gave my a card. So the first time they saw it, it was a 5x10, 5x2 index card on my website stuff on. The other side, a picture of me had enough room I could sign an autograph, and then stuff like that.
Brilliant.
You know, the players is pissed, like, look at this book. I ain't signed a headache card. And that's them being, you know, our teammates. But a little bit, you know, upset about it because they didn't think about it. And then the ownership was mad.
Oh, interesting.
It was mad.
Because they didn't get a piece of it?
One, because they didn't want me doing it. And they had my website on it. I had my And1 uniform on it. The pictures used around the pictures that's on my autograph card been used around the world forever. Right. It's like me in my uniform. And you can look, it's in my book, you know, the legal document. They sued me over it.
Really? Over your image. So they wanted to control your image, your name, your likeness, but not pay you anything for it.
They said because I wore the And1 uniform and basketball in the picture, and I'm not supposed to do that. The judge laughed him out of court and was like, and anybody can look it up. He has an endorsement deal with you. What else would he wear?
Right. Because if you wore Nike, then they would sue you for that because you got an endorsement deal with them. Come on, man. They should have known that. They were just being greedy. They wanted to control you.
They're trying to bankrupt me.
Wow.
But like
and
I said,
you talk about that in the book too, right? You got to talk about that. So I remember one time you was telling me sometimes when y'all go, you know, I mean, in the hood and stuff like that, and they're giving you like no napkins to sign, a piece of paper. You're like, no, this is whack. Because I thought that too. Going this, I'm like, what you gonna do with my name on a napkin? Let me try to find something better for you to keep as a, you know what I mean?
And that's how it was. I remember, I got so much stuff. I remember we did our first poster. I still have it. My poster I have right now, my very first poster I ever did that went crazy. All our posters sold out. I told them, I said, send a box to my house so I can give my family a poster and make sure they have one. They never sent it. The box of me. So I'm like, yo, I didn't get the box. They want post. Oh, now we out. So we had an event sign at Foot Action, and I'm like, yo, all these posters of me here. Yo, grab me like 5 or 10 so I can at least take some back. I'll mail it back or whatever. That way we can have it.
Right.
They go, oh, no. And they forgot. So I didn't get no poster. I said, Dad, I see like a kid walking down the street, like 2 or 3 of them of me. I'm like, yo, young fella, can I get one of those? He go, yeah, but if you sign the other ones, I said, how how about this? I give you these shoes off my feet. It's And1 pair of shoes. It was a slip-ons.
Yeah.
I ask you that all the time. Like I get
comfortable too, not just those are the most comfortable shoes.
Hey, I'll make you laugh. I'm gonna see how crazy I am. Like I'm just about. You remember Fred Crawford used to do ESPN?
Yeah,
like bro.
Yep.
Like when we was in DC, I did the same thing with him. So we in a hotel and all, and we in Adidas And1 hotel. We did the And1 game and out there in DC. So we out there doing it, and I'm in the lobby and I see Fred. You know, we know ESPN, and I'm like, yo, Fred, what's going on? I show him his love, and Kobe just walked in and walked behind us, guard his soul, and I'm like, and we all talk. I'm like, yo, Fred, he's like, man, those are so comfortable. He said, are they really comfortable? Everybody keep telling me. I said, what size you wear? He said, I wear 12. And literally, it was brand new on my feet. I took them off and said, try these on. He said, you sure? I said, try them on. He said, oh man, these feel great. I said, they're yours. And he said, what? I said, they're yours. And I walked away and went upstairs and put on some other shoes.
Yeah.
And I never talked to him ever again.
Right.
Like, if you see him in act, I guarantee like, yo, he probably know who my name is, but he like, I gave him a brand new pair of slides like off my feet. But because to me, that's who them people and the people that the young kids is what made us, because they have to touch us, they have to see us. Like, you know, and my thing was, even though I was being exploited in a way when it comes to contract stuff like that, I still can't. It's like a bad relationship when a mom and dad break up. I'm not, because you a jerk, I can't treat the kids like that.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying?
No, that's a good point. That's a good point.
Like, and that's what I would. My thing was, I would never, ever, ever destroy a fan because of my dislike of the company, the way I'm being treated. Because at the end of the day, we can fix those if we come together and do it right.
Right.
But I can't repair that relationship when they start that bad rumor about, yo, Etan Thomas was a jerk. I tried to get a shirt to sign for me. He threw it back at me in my face. Right.
Now you know that kind of word spreads like wildfire. What's up? People hear it. They all think of you, and that's why it's. I'm glad that that you separated the two and went the extra mile, because that sticks with them. So the kid. So go back to the story. The kid that you said, here, I'll give these shoes off my feet to you, and he was trying to get the poster. So what happened after that?
He gave me a poster, and I gave him $100. Like, I said, here, let me get it. I signed the other two for him, and I took it, and and literally I got it framed in my house to this day, and I paid for it. And we had T-shirts made of us.
Okay.
I had to do the same thing for the T-shirt, because I asked a T-shirt of me.
Yes, a T-shirt of you.
Our first T-shirt ever made. I said, yo, send a box to the house.
Wow.
Like they sent me like a little bit. I'm like, yo, like literally, I got like 10 because they forgot. Because I told you, I don't think they forgot. It was the audacity of me asking. You know, like, yo.
Yeah, they knew that you asked that. they didn't forget that. But and the thing about it is, and it showed again on the documentary when y'all went global. Because at first y'all was hot like fire in the States. Y'all was everywhere, everything like, and then you went global on a whole nother level, right? So when y'all going global, they're still trying to control your name, image, and likeness and use it in any way they see fit, but only give you an appearance fee or like that. That's wow.
This how ingrained I am into the development of the And1 Mixtape team. My second year, I leave. My boy Fabulous Fenor, who now coaches for Toronto, was playing in England.
Okay.
And that's my big bro. I said, yo, I'm still trying to go overseas. I want to play because the tour's over. I want to get this money. I want to still continue, get my opportunity to go to the league and play. He's like, no, come out to England. I go out to England. So I'm matter of fact, it's all over YouTube and stuff. I've been in it for years, but I'm in England playing. I'm working out on the side. You know how you go to a team, you get there, you don't really play. You just sit around the team. He showed me shaking the teammates up, going through his legs and jump shots and all that. There's a whole bunch of guys that was on street ball, loving it, that was filming it. So after the game, the owner didn't want to sign me that owned that team. So he was like, he didn't sign me. So I went like on a tour of England, trying out for like the new cat, all the different things, stuff like that. And my boy facilitated that. But meanwhile, the street ball that I didn't know was out in England was bananas. Like it was going off the quicker. They knew I was in the country. And we gotta get him. So after the game, a kid walked to me and go, yo, I want my brothers love street ball. He one of the hottest street ball dudes in the country in England. And you think he can play you one-on-one? And we film it, whatever. And this is me just being a business dude. I was like, Jay-Z famous line, like, if I shoot you, I'm brainless. If you shoot me, you're famous. And I was like, yo, I said, what do I get out of it? And I said, if I play you one-on-one, I already know I'm gonna beat you. But if I play you one-on-one, what do I get out of it? Right. So, and they never showed this on, like, when they put the YouTube video out. I like, how about this? I said, we'll play one-on-one. If I win, because you don't want to pay me or do anything for me, you gotta leave the gym. You gotta leave all your clothes, leave on the floor, and walk out the gym. you know, even back in the day, you do like, you got one boy. Oh, nah, I want to play. Then you really want to play me. You ain't as good as you think you are.
Right.
I told you that, E, when you in your prime, you be like, bet.
Right. Let's do it then.
Like, but that was me saying, come on, bro. Like, I'm really not gonna do that. Like,
gotcha.
Like, but when I got back to the States, like, I'm talking about, it was crazy in England for me being there. I'm like, yo, the owner that didn't sign me to the team was like, oh, can you come back and play in a game? I know you was that big. Oh, like, you know, because now he like, because they remember, because we really hit the market, but YouTube wasn't really that big yet.
Right.
But the buzz is coming, and I'm like, when I get back to the States, like, I ain't what I'm signing to do in England. I was out there for like 2 weeks on my own dime, and I was like, no problem, I'm okay with it, and I worked out a couple of teams. So when I get back, I go right to the office. Yo, we gotta go overseas.
Oh.
But because I brought the idea, it was like, okay, yeah, you're right, and they shelved it.
Really?
And then when I left the tour, because of contractual stuff, they go overseas.
Oh, so that you didn't go overseas with them when you'd already left. Now, what year did you leave?
05.
No. So it was what year?
It was mixtape right before mixtape 6 came out.
Okay.
So I should have had footage on the mixtape, but they took it off because, you know, that mixtape said I should have been on that because I was there for that. And if you watch the show, when I left, even though I left before the mix show was over, they started taking my stuff off. Like,
yeah. But there was some parts you were just a part of the story, so they couldn't take it out because you're right there. You know what I mean? You know, it was interesting. You mentioned the professor before, and I wanted to ask you this. When he came, because they showed, this was going back when they was doing like the audition, kind of like I said, it was like America's Top Model, but it was like, you know, the audition, and he made the team. And then he, you know, blew up, and they said it on there, so it's not like it's no, you know, knock on him. He was dope. You know what I mean? He was nice. He had the flair. He had the moves, everything like that. He studied hot sauce, like he was talking about. But he was white, so his marketability skyrocketed. It was like Eminem. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, he was dope, but he was white and dope. So it was like all the white kids was like, oh, we love him. You're right. So it just blew up. Now, I wanted to ask you.
You saw me, E?
Oh, you saw it? So when they were marketing him, when that blew up, did they kind of push y'all to the side and go? And I know with just marketing, that's the way that it is. You go with what's hot. When you know what I mean? Hot Sauce came, he was the hot one. So everything. I think the whole, what was it, the second or third mixtape was really like the Hot Sauce mixtape. You know what I mean? So the Professor, did it kind of shift towards, now we got the Eminem of the, you know what I mean? And
the crazy part about, like you said, like I tell you all the time, like we was in the back. Like when we got Escalade, my big bro, I was in the back and Skip was there. And we was like, yo, Escalade make the best sense. He's there for all the big boys.
Right.
When I talk to him like how it's supposed to happen. We need somebody who's dope, but represents somebody different than the other person.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? So that's how I talk to him. So that's why I say, when I say I help push a lot of stuff, like when I went to him, I said, yeah, this dude here that was on one of the dudes that was on there. Yeah, he can jump, but we got guys that can jump. But he's also 5'10". Yeah, this dude right here can do that. We got guys that can do that. And I said, yo, a white boy?
Right.
I remember my degree's in marketing.
Yeah.
They don't understand. Like I don't think they ever understood this. Like, because they never had a real conversation with me about this. I graduated. I got 2 degrees before I got an And1 Mixtape.
Right.
My first degree is advertising communication. My second one's in marketing. That's why I'm able to go in a room and talk and have a conversation, and I help them close the Pepsi deal because I can go in a room and have a conversation. Because this is what if I didn't play basketball, this is what I've been working as.
Right.
So like you said, it was one of the best deals because I tell everybody all the time about Professor. I love Professor. You know, he's a great dude. You know, and a Christian brother at that too. So
okay.
The thing about it is that he was a good studier. If you really look at him, and you take me and put me in, you take hot sauce and put hot sauce in, you take AO and put AO in, you take a little bit of Sick and Shane, and you really look at him.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna leave out my other guy. You take Pat the Rock, and you put all of them this side and show like different things that we do, and then look at him.
Yep.
Oh.
End of everybody. He studied cats, no question.
And I tell kids all the time, you study, you can be like a professor in anything you do because he really sat back and learned. Yeah. And then because he's a different shade, he's going to be successful. Like I tell my kids, if you speak Spanish, when you walk in with a bunch of black guys or black people interviewing for a job, and you walk in and you go, oh yeah, I can do this what they do, but I also can speak Spanish.
Right.
You're Army Swiss knife now.
No question.
Like, you know, and that's the difference that he brought to the table. So like, and I'm never mad because in the day I made myself marketable. Right. So I was always, if I was on the tour, I always was in need because my thing was I'm gonna be something that everybody's not. Gotcha. I was a great defender, so I don't care who we play against. I'm gonna guard you. I might get shook, but I'm still gonna give you 40. Right. Ain't gonna be. You might shake me one time, but every time down the floor, I'm gonna shake you. So I'll give you 1 to my 10.
I got you. That makes a lot of sense. Well, listen, I'm excited for your book to come out because I think that people need to know the full story. The documentary is a good way to bring the story back, get the wet everybody's whistle with it, and because y'all were bigger than the pros. Y'all just weren't getting compensated like the pros. You know what I'm saying? And y'all should have been. When he said that he paid, I don't remember which owner said that, but he said, no, we paid them more than the pro contracts. I was like, that's not true. You know, because I was there. I had one of the pro contracts. I know what the numbers were. You know, they was not paying y'all what they should have been paying y'all. And Darryl Armstrong gonna be mad at me because he always comes all the time. So matter of fact, if you think about it, besides maybe 1 or 2 guys, we have probably about 30 NBA athletes. Nobody can name any of them guys but us. That's true. Like we had Ben Wallace, who Defensive Player of the Year. Right. We had Darryl Armstrong, who one of the best 6-man players in the league. Yeah. We had remember Desmond Mason. Yeah. We had Larry Hughes. Yeah. Like this all-star. Like you didn't know he won And1. We had Vince before Nike really fell in love with him. Right, because he had the And1's in the dunk contest. And then that's what blew up even more with y'all. When he had that memorable dunk contest and had the And1's on. And he told us that he loved us. When we had Kevin Garnett. I'll make you even laugh. We signed Kevin. That's right. I had KG. They gave him stock options when he came on. Oh, interesting. I didn't know that. So, and he's still part of the company doing things with them and help doing some stuff. So, like the newer company, but in the day, that was about. So, like I said before, like I used to take Darryl Armstrong's shoes because we wore the same size. They have a whole box on the side. I was an NBA guy, and I was being facetious, but I was dead serious. I'm like, he don't sell more product than me. These is mine. Tell him I took them. Right. You know what I mean? Because really, y'all were pushing the whole company and a whole different. Y'all, like I said, y'all were global. Like I had a contract, but I wasn't on. I mean, I'm DC. Y'all were global. You know. So yes, y'all should have been compensated more. But I want to ask you that we can end with this because I really want you to hurry up and finish this book. Number one, because this book need to come out, and people need to read it. And I want to just say, if you could go back in time to when it all was beginning, when it was all started, when they didn't have, before they blew up, before they had the nice office with the basketball court in it and the nice bus, back when y'all was on the minivans, when they showed with the chair that's not supposed to be in there, like when it was that level, and y'all created the partnership with And1, which is what it should have been, a partnership. How would you have orchestrated everything if you were in charge to orchestrate everything to protect all the guys? You know what I mean? How would you have? What would the setup have been? from that initial point?
Well, from this point, it's in the book. I actually went to NBA.
Oh, you covered. So you answered this question in the book. So, I don't know if you need to give it away then, but
hey, I'm gonna tell you, I went to one of our favorite people in the NBA when she was there. I went to Krista Chin.
Oh yeah, love Krista. Love Krista.
To get a, I'm gonna just tell you this part, and you can go with the rest of it. You know, I went to Krista Chin, and she gave me a legal counsel from the NBA.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
But this is when all the trouble started for me with them.
So number one, y'all all should have had your own representation or a union or a union. Oh, that's what you're saying. Okay, yeah, y'all should have had a union. it all been working together, and you have a president of the union, the head of executive director, and
it was too many guys upset, like, oh nah, the money thing, like, oh, I should get paid this, or why we gotta do this, why he doing it, you know. Like I said before, like if I can do it, but if I can go back, my biggest thing would be I would set everybody in a room with nobody in there and go like this. Hey, listen to me. In order for all of us to make money, we gotta stay together. We gotta. I don't care what your gripe is with him. I don't care if you don't like Etan, the way he tie his shoe or whatever it is. For us to be the black friends, that's what I always consider us to. Like, because I give people a prime example, and nobody know this. The NBA wasn't playing music back in the day. We was the only one playing music. Only thing played the NBA game was dan 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 dan. When they came to our game and they saw us rocking, and rapper music was going, and all the rappers coming out of the game, they was like, ha ha.
Interesting.
Go back and watch when you played in that era. It was no music playing.
Right.
It was just when the ball came up the court, it was dan dan dan. Yeah. They ain't old enough to remember that. I do. And then they sold to Toronto, and we sold Toronto out. Yeah. And everybody's going crazy. We had the rapper at halftime. Think about it. Wasn't no rapper performing in the NBA at halftime.
It's true. That's a good point.
I said that's why I said a lot of people in the industry owe us checks. Tennis wasn't doing urban commercials until they saw us do urban commercials with the street stuff. Soccer wasn't doing urban commercials until they saw us do it. We paved the way for everybody, where the game played, where everything went. Because my thing was this. I'm like, I'm pushing now for us to be in the Hall of Fame because we deserve it. Because the criteria of the Hall of Fame is for if you change the game. We changed the game and the industry because everything's happening right now, from music to basketball, the way the commercial, the deals is going, is because we started that. Like, and we don't get the credit for that. They get the credit for it, but it wasn't them. It was our talent.
Right.
Our talent, black people is. That's all we did. That's all we did. We can show how talented we are. But like you said before, the money didn't reap because, and we always have this problem, we don't come together when the way we're supposed to. I don't have to like you to make money.
Right.
Everybody, I live in New York my whole life. I tell people all the time, there's racist people in New York, but you see it more in the country. But one thing I learned about New York was when I was growing up, this white dude might not like me, but he's gonna pay me for my talent and give me to do the job, but he's not gonna break bread with me. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with you not breaking bread with me because I don't want you in my house anyway because I don't like you.
Right, I got you.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna do my job. You're gonna do your job and pay me. I'm gonna do my job and get it. I'm gonna keep it moving, and we're gonna respect each other. But when you get to another level, a lot of people can't do that.
Right. And
I'm pretty sure you dealt with it like that. Like
exactly what you mean. 100% what you're talking about.
You know, like so that to me, that's what made me different when anything I approach. I'm never gonna like. I'm not mad at the contract. I'm mad at the ability of us to change the contract because we had it. We had the power to do it, but because of our ignorance, you call it ignorance, you call it stubbornness, you call it, insecurities, you can call it whatever you want to call it. At some point, it hit somebody on the team, but that was the problem. And then also you could say the owners didn't want to get it because they wanted that power. And you saw it in the documentary because all you talk about is what they did. Yeah, they started a dope T-shirt company off of the slang and genre of what we talked in the hood,
right?
Because they played pickup in the hood.
Yep.
So you took that and did it, and it was dope. Then you said we need something else, and it didn't work out. And then you got us, who is the T-shirt. We are the trash T-shirts, and live and direct. So you took that and you benefit from it, and you looked us in the face, and that's why I say my remorse or I'll never say hatred, but my dislike of the owners isn't nothing to do with contracting like that. It's the fact you looked me in the face as a man and said you take care of me. When I help you and do this partnership, you say that, yo, if we be successful, we'll make sure we take care of y'all. I don't know what level he would take. Like when I told my wife I'm gonna take care of you, I'm taking care of my wife. You tell you what I'm gonna give her whatever she want, whatever she need, and make sure she's right.
Right.
And they do that. No matter what anybody say, they didn't do that. I'm not saying they had to, if they made 65 million, they had to give me 32 million.
Right.
But it should be a mill behind it.
Got you.
But in their mind, they go, and it's nothing to do with the product. This is what I want people to understand. It has nothing to do with the product. People gonna say, "Oh, you went there." It's about who the money going to. It was never. They didn't think we deserved it. That's a better way of saying it.
Nope.
Our respect. They didn't think we deserved it, and we going through it in 2022 with other things in life that we fighting for and stuff like that. They didn't think we deserved it. Like that's the best way you can say it. And I'm okay with that because I try to get my brothers to force that. Because you think about it, and we go, I'm done, and we're not doing it. What are they gonna do? Right. Right. This is right before they start all this stuff. What are they gonna do? Tag it.
Yeah. Right.
Like, cause you think about all the contracts you did with your agent.
Yeah.
How many times have he came back and said, "Man, they pissed at you because they ain't want to give you, but I got it for you."
Of course. That's what they're supposed to do. So it's like, that you're 100% right. But if y'all would have all done it together, formed the union on one accord, made their demand, they would have had no choice but they came to whatever demand that y'all had because y'all were the product. They could not go any further, and none of that would happen with And1 without y'all. So that's.
Could you imagine middle of the tour, we get on social media at the time with internet and go, "Hey, we done because they don't want to pay us."
Oh man. Oh man. And the whole everybody that loved y'all, when they said the line wasn't around the block, it was the block. Though all those people and then globally would have been put the pressure on them and they would have had to give you whatever you wanted. It would have been y'all company. Y'all would have owned the company.
When I get off, I'm gonna send you the picture the first time we played at Venice when we had Larry Hughes on. Well, we had Larry Hughes on come out and play. I'm gonna see how I find. I'm gonna find an air shot of Venice Beach when we played.
Okay.
When it was fully packed out, we got no stands. It's fully packed out. It's like ants.
Yeah.
People on the roofs and stuff at Venice trying to watch the game.
Wow.
And that ain't never happened ever again. Like I told you before, like we didn't have no social media. We came out then now social media. We'll need like 2 police force to be able to get the game started.
Wow.
Because you've been in like how crazy it was. We go on the hood. Like we didn't, because the thing about us was we made it different. And it ain't different from the NBA guys because they all grew up the same way we grew up. But we just go, we get phone like, "Y'all won't come to this hood and play." Where's that? Sends the address. we'll pull up with the bus, right? Out, and we get there. The team will have uniforms, and it'd be 3,000 people in the park.
Wow.
Like we did it in Boston. We was at a rail station, and it was me, man, AO, Hot Sauce. We had they called us and said, "Y'all ain't real. Y'all won't come to so and so on Sun Street." What? We be in an hour. Hey, we get on the bus and like, "Y'all want to do it?" Like, "Yeah, we want to do it." We get there in an hour. This is because it's the young us. We ain't thinking about contract. We ain't thinking about right. We get there and it's 2,000 people there. And the team to do that call us, they had on, and matter of fact, on one of them said they on green tank tops. These niggas had matching tank top uniforms. like it was kind of a setup, but when everybody knew we was going, everybody went and got there. We got there and we had a little tussle in the beginning. It got super physical. Then Hot did his joint and the crowd went crazy. And then the hood accepted us in Boston. And that's how I went every city from Detroit to Chicago to everywhere we went. That's how we did. We go up in the park. What's toughest part? Oh, really? Okay, we gonna show up.
Right.
But if you look at it now on social media, what they call crashing the court.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all us. It ain't nothing else but us. But like you said before, for us to do what we do, not be in the Hall of Fame, which you see I keep pushing that, but not be in the Hall of Fame, and then for people to look at us and go, we didn't do nothing. Matter of fact, there's a couple guys that got jobs on ESPN and TNT because they use our slogans to get jobs and act like we ain't changed the culture.
No question.
We allow you to be able to go, "Yo, that's my dude." Charles, you couldn't talk this way if we didn't do this.
Right. And then also some of y'all moves are now incorporated into regular NBA moves. All the stuff the hot sauce was doing, the breaking the ankles, the snatch back, all of that. I know all of that was y'all. So I'm with you 100%. Well, look, I cannot wait for your book to come out. And, you know, much respect to you. You know, I've known you for a while, always had a lot of respect to you on and off the court and spiritually, and your walk with, you know what I mean? So on a whole different levels as a father, as a husband, everything that you do. So I just want to let you know, much respect to you, and, you know, keep doing what you're doing. And I can't wait for this book to come out. I'm gonna keep saying it. Can't wait for this book to come out.
Thank you. And I'm hoping everybody support. Like, the name of the book is something that's dope. That one of my big bros gave me to help me get the title. The title of the book is called "Life's a Beautiful Headache."
That's what's up. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. All right, man. All right, Headache. I'll let you get back to your day. You know what I mean? Being a father, I know you got to take the kids somewhere and do something like that. So, hey,
Daddy Uber, yo, Daddy Uber.
That's what it is. That's who we are. All right, so who we got to take next? Where you got to go? All right. Let me get ready. You know what I mean?
Hey, I made you laugh. My two oldest in the band at the school, they don't even come home a day. My youngest got softball tryout, and we have a football game to be at. So you know, me and the wife go like this. Okay, who got who?
You go that way, you go that way. Holler at you later. Be like, break. All right, man. I'm gonna holler at you again. Thanks again for coming on the show. Much respect to you.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you.
All right, peace.